I'm Andrew Jordan. Welcome to our final video about SBA loans. We've talked about why SBA loans can be better, and we've talked about what the process looks like. So now let's cover something that can make or break the whole thing, choosing the right SBA loan partner. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people assuming all banks handle SBA loans the same way, because they don't. Some small or mid-sized banks can technically do SBA loans, but they only do a handful each year. That is not who you want guiding you through a process this complicated. And on the other end, I've seen and worked with big national online SBA lenders, and I've seen them fumble too. Where I've seen the best results is with banks that are big enough to do a lot of SBA loans and that actually specialize in them. These are the banks that tend to have a dedicated SBA loan team. They understand the rules and they know how to navigate the process without constant mistakes or delays. These are the banks you want to work with. It's also fascinating how differently banks view SBA lending. I know one banker at a local regional bank, a bank that does a ton of SBA loans. His take is, we've been given this opportunity and responsibility by the federal government to help Americans start and grow businesses. If you've got a good business but not enough cash, SBA loans are there to help you fill the shortfall and give you the fuel to grow. Other banks, they don't necessarily see it that way. For some, SBA loans are basically just conventional loans with a longer amortization period. From their perspective, it's about more people qualifying because they don't have to show as many assets supporting the loan. And if the loan defaults, the government absorbs most of the loss. And that's where the old joke comes in. Bankers are happy to give you a loan once you can prove to them that you don't actually need it. A lot of banks that don't do much SBA work still think that way. The difference in philosophy really matters. A bank that views SBA lending as a mission to help businesses grow is going to give you a very different experience than a bank that treats it as just another product line. So how do you figure out who you're dealing with? Ask them. I'd ask a banker point blank, how many SBA loans did your bank do last year? Be very specific. If the answer is we did 3, that's probably not who you want to trust with this. You're not just looking for someone who can fill out paperwork. You're looking for a partner who can explain your options, who can guide you, and who can make the process smoother. Here's another piece of advice I strongly recommend. Don't just talk to one bank. Talk to at least 2, maybe 3 banks. Go through the preliminary steps with more than one bank. Be transparent. Say we're feeling this out and we're talking with a couple of different lenders. They may not love that, but it usually makes them more responsive because now they know they're not the only option. You're actually deciding who to work with. And at some point, usually a month or 2 in, the terms are going to start to look pretty similar across the lenders. But one bank might take a different approach, and you might find you just liking with one more than the others. That matters too. And here's a tip. Don't shut down the second option too soon. If the bank you like more falls through, you'll be glad you still have another option living and active. So when it comes to SBA loans, choosing the right partner is critical. Look for a bank that specializes in SBA loans, ask how many they did last year, and start with more than one bank if you can. It's more work up front, but it gives you options. It makes banks more responsive, and it gives you the best shot at actually getting the loan you need to grow your business.